Thanks for checking in with Synthesis and on our YouTube page. Thanks for checking in with synthesis.net if you're looking at it there. I'm Spencer. I'm here with From Autumn to Ashes. They've stopped by town for a little bit. Say hello, gentlemen.
Hello, gentlemen.
Please announce your names to the camera.
I'm Brian.
I'm Mike.
And you are?
Guitar player.
I play the guitar in From Autumn to Ashes.
I play bass in From Autumn to Ashes.
I like how you picked up on that.
I moonlight as a stripper as well. Just on the weekends.
I just watch.
Yeah. He's a good tipper though.
So I imagine preparing for a show is kind of like preparing for your other job as a stripper. You got to do like stretches and
lots of stretches, a lot of drinking.
A lot of drinking.
A lot of drinking.
Dull the pain away a little bit.
Yeah.
I feel very old at my young age.
Yeah.
And then slip into spandex.
Yeah. Which will quickly come off. It is just like my stripping job, actually. Somebody ends up naked at the end of the night.
Your day job became your night job.
And it's usually me on stage vomiting on myself.
How do you guys really prepare for a show? And like, what do you do like when you roll into some podunk town and it's, you know, there's a Starbucks and like, you know, one music shop?
It's pretty much, we drink a lot.
We just kind of sit there.
Yeah, you sit around and wait for the thing to happen, and then you do the thing.
Maybe we'll take a walk, see what's going on around town.
Yeah. You know, you find a local fountain, which is always pleasant.
Just make sure you have cups for the beer.
Yeah. Since we're breaking about 47 city ordinances right now.
Probably.
And you know.
And stretching.
Stretching. Lots of stretches. Lunges. Lots of lunges.
For the record, Mike is really drinking apple juice.
It's true.
Apple juice.
Yeah.
Can I have a sip?
Give him a sip, man.
You want a sip?
I want a sip.
It's apple juice. Man's apple juice.
I think I'm gonna have some man's apple juice as
There
well.
you go.
That was apple juice.
That is right. Red Creek.
Fresh squeezed.
Fresh squeeze.
So
Exactly.
can you just squeeze apple juice?
Sure.
You press apple juice. I
Okay,
think.
fair enough. Yeah. Yeah.
Takes a lot of upper body strength.
But that's what the stretches are for.
It's part of the daily routine.
Right.
Before we talking, your tour manager Anthony, he mentioned that you guys are already preparing for a new album. So you guys have already written some new material.
Well, that's a little premature. I mean, we're mentally preparing for a new album. I don't know.
I'm very mentally preparing for a new album since I haven't
Mike
in the
hasn't
studio
been
in a while.
Yeah.
So. But
you know, I got some ideas kicking around in the old brain. Whatever ideas I have left. I've run out of ideas pretty much. So now I'm just gonna steal from everyone else. But that's what everybody does when you run out of ideas. So
and it works for them.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
So yeah, no, but hopefully within a year. I'd like less than a year to have a new record out, but it all depends on what comes up touring wise, and you know, if Van Halen wants to take us out, I'm gonna put off the new record.
Wait a bunch of years.
I don't see that happening.
What if David Lee Roth wants to hire you as his guitarist?
I would say goodbye to my man Mike right here in a second, and I'd be out. But he's out with Van Halen right now, so he has a decent guitar player with him. Come on, he's doing okay.
He's good.
Yeah, he's all right. He can play.
But you'd have to make me your guitar tech.
Fair enough.
Just so I can
hang out with
go
Dave.
out, and even though I don't know anything about guitar, but
it's okay.
All right, anyway.
So, I mean, obviously you played on the first two albums and you toured with From Autumn to Ashes, then you left the band, and now you're back with the band. You've been with the band for about a little over a month now, or at least announced for a little over a month.
Right.
Yeah.
So is it kind of like sleeping with your old girlfriend?
Ooh, that's an interesting question. It's like putting on an old pair of shoes?
It's pretty interesting. Well, definitely with this guy, because we were pretty close back in the day, in motel rooms, and, you know, we used to snuggle. But, yeah, I mean, I kind of put it like, you know, riding a bike, you know, just comes back pretty quick, and it's going smooth so far. So I'm excited to get back writing again, you know, whenever that comes. So.
When you guys were the first lineup that people knew From Autumn to Ashes, did you guys write as a full group, or was it be someone would bring in an idea or bring in a song?
Well, I mean, I think that's kind of how that always is. You know, somebody's always. I don't know anybody who just goes in a room like, all right, guys, just start playing. You know, because I guess like Fish does that.
Yeah, well,
you know, some bands do that. Right. No, I mean, for those of us who are incapable of doing that, I think somebody always has an idea. You know, just something you've been playing or whatever, and you know, go up to the next guy and go, hey, I got this. What do you got? You know, and
work around that.
Yeah. So
I think most bands do that.
Yeah, I mean, I think
we've
over the years we've tried a few different methods of writing, and I think just, you know, when somebody has an idea, you get into a room and you play the damn thing, and then somebody else plays the damn thing. Next thing you know, you have a damn song.
If it's not working, you just
go
home.
Then you go home. You go get drunk. Or you get drunk before that. That usually helps. It lubricates the writing process a lot.
That's true.
Do you guys? So you're playing, you know, songs from Holding Wolf by the Years on this tour, as well as older material, I assume.
Yeah.
What's it like to be playing the older material? Anything from when you were originally in the band?
Yeah.
I mean, I never really lost touch with it during my time off. You know, I always, you know, I would follow these guys. I would see what they were doing.
You would actually physically follow us around.
Yeah. Kind of a stalker. Yeah, I mean, I was always, you know, still practicing the songs, you know, at home, you know, so it wasn't anything.
Looking at your Fata posters.
Waiting for his big break.
Looking at the wall, at the poster, like, that was me.
I was really something one day. Sunday, a previous day, today.
Whatever. But I'm actually more excited about the new songs. It's been a lot of fun learning them and playing them, so. Yeah.
With the new album, with the revamped lineup, do you find that there's any songs that you guys definitely did not want to play?
There's a few songs that I definitely didn't want to play, but we're not playing them. So, you know, that's what happens when you make the rules.
Kind of just end it right there, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, there's songs that, you know, you get tired of playing. You know, like
the first song ever written.
Yeah, that song Reflections, that was actually the first From Autumn to Ashes song ever written. Which we played every day pretty much for 6 years straight, and this is the first tour that that we're not playing it on. Although I hear that we might play it one day or something. One day on this tour.
I kind of have to learn that.
Right. But yeah, I mean, it's just boring. I mean, not, you know, the songs are cool to, you know, kids want to hear them and stuff. But you know, I couldn't imagine being like, you know, like when like how Van Halen has to still play Jump after 20 years. You know, like that's gotta suck. Keep in mind they don't tour as much as they used to, but
it's a shame, really.
It's a damn shame. But you know, I mean, I think if you give songs a break,
I think most bands are like that too.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. You don't.
I mean, a lot of kids still want to hear it and stuff,
right.
And you know, every once in a while you bust it out, but.
Yeah, I think you know what it is that there's I feel like that the most popular songs with the kids are the least popular songs with the band. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, oh, really? We have to play that one again? But, you know, at the same time, when you're playing a song at a show that all the kids obviously wanted to hear, even if it's not the most thrilling thing for you to do, you know, it makes for a better show than playing the song that nobody in the crowd wants to hear, but makes, you know, it's a give and take. It's a push and pull.
Exactly.
You know.
Speaking of that, like, fan expectations, how much do they play for you guys when writing material? I mean, it sounds like if that's the case, that fans want to hear kind of your older stuff and songs that aren't necessarily your favorites. How much does that weigh into new stuff that you guys are writing?
Not at all. I don't think at all. Because at the same time, the songs that we wrote 7 years ago on the first record, six and a half, 7 years ago, the kids that were really into that record at the time have now, I think, moved on, and they listen to Modest Mouse and stuff like that. You know, they listen to more mature bands than us. And but their little brothers and sisters, you know, who were 9 at the time, are now the kids that come to the shows. So it kind of makes it easier for the new songs to, you know, it's like a different band. You know, and you know, in a couple of years, those kids will grow up and get into real music, and you know, but their younger brothers and sisters will be into us. So you know, that's how you stick around. That's how you stay relevant. You know.
I know you mentioned it like jokingly, like real music, but I mean, what do you think about From Autumn to Ashes that, you know, is separate from like stuff that kids are listening to now that were your fans like 5-6 years ago?
Oh, that are now in bands, or just the kids
what they're listening to, or what their bands sound like.
Right. You know, I think it's all part of not necessarily consciously staying relevant, because I'm not gonna go listen to the new Fall Out Boy record and try to sound like that because that's what the kids are into. But at the same time, you can't make the same record over and over again. Yeah. But you know, I'm definitely not gonna go and buy the new hit band on, you know, the hit metalcore band on MySpace that, you know, that's getting all the plays in the world.
All the friends.
Yeah, you know, and then try to make my new record sound like that. I'm probably gonna go listen to that and try to make my record sound the opposite of that. You know,
always evolving.
Yeah, I think if you're good at what you do, or at least decent at what you do, and you're somewhat creative and somewhat inventive, then you know, then why try to sound like? By the time you sound like somebody else, that's already not cool anyway. You know.
Pretty much.
It's what killed the Backstreet Boys and all those guys.
That's a shame.
It is.
They're trying to come back.
I know. I heard.
I'm excited.
always better the second time. Kind of like what you eat.
It's like pizza. Always better the next morning. Taco Bell, I don't think is always better the second time. That's might be the one exception.
It tastes a little bit better coming back up. Actually.
Right, yeah, or at least decent. It tastes the same coming back up. Actually,
it's looking pretty good from here.
It is looking kind of delicious.
So this is probably not going to be sponsored by Taco Bell.
For the record, I love Taco Bell.
It should be. Or In-N-Out, which is a little too far from the venue, unfortunately. We don't get it all the time.
No, we don't get it ever.
Only like West Coast, or
yes.
I mean,
it's only up to like Nevada.
That's
Damn.
it.
Rest of the country does not know what they're missing.
No, they certainly
we
don't.
try to tell them. But
yeah, but they don't want to listen.
It's not the same.
On another hand, PETA 2 is here. Have they given you guys much shit?
No. Those kids have been. They're really cool. They're
very cool.
They can drink, which is a nice thing.
They can drink.
They can drink.
They're here, you know.
They're doing their thing.
Representing what they do, and
that's great. All, I think it's good. I think it's really good, and I think
they're not here to change us around.
Right? Yeah. I think if there's if 50 kids that are at a show, 50 younger kids can hear what they're saying and maybe go and become vegetarian or whatever, even for a year or so. If those 50 young kids do that, then then they did their job, and that's great, and that's awesome.
Whether you're into it or not, it's a good cause, and they're here to they're doing good so far. So.
Yeah. And they have fancy stickers that end up all over.
And they can definitely drink.
And they can drink, so it's cool.
So between albums, you guys did a little bit of a hiatus. I assume to work out what was going wrong with your guys' lineup and how you guys weren't just agreeing on things. And for a band taking a hiatus, it's kind of like a girl, we're
on a break.
Yeah, you're on a break. Yeah. So you will either end the relationship or you come back stronger. Obviously, it seems you guys have come back stronger.
I agree. I mean, I think I feel better now, standing here right now than I did a year ago about the band. I think this is the best we've ever been. I think it's the tightest we've ever played in any any lineup of the band. There's been a few, but I think over the years, I think right here, right now is the best we've ever been, and I think it's cool to have every single person in the band on the same page for once in a long time. And everybody has a good attitude, and everybody's just having fun, and that's kind of as long as you're still having fun, then that's kind of the point.
I mean, I missed out on a lot of that extreme
makeover
tension and makeover part, but yeah, I mean, from what I can see right now, and especially meeting Jeff and Rob, who are new members of the band, and it's very tight, it's set.
Yeah.
It's good. We're in a good place.
Because if anything else changes, I swear to God, I'm done. This is it, man. It's playing with my emotions too much. It's this is it. Sorry, Mike. But at the same time, I feel fine by saying that, because this is exactly how I think the band, how I always thought the band should sound, and should be attitude-wise, and everybody's kind of in a good place right now. And it's awesome.